Hitz may have been off air, but radio for young people, by young people, certainly wasn't. And it was at this point that Melbourne's radio and music industries were about to change forever.
I guess when Kicks started and subsequently Kiss, we were never competing with them on air, timing-wise. We were never on at the same time. But what it meant was that young people in Melbourne had more excuses not to listen to standard commercial radio.
The scene had not even been tapped into by Hitz and needed to be. I mean, well, only the tip of the iceberg, your mainstream scene. But your underground scene hadn't really been given a go, and we thought, well, this is the place for it.
And definitely sent a message to the big boys that we're not just on for 90 days. Here are a whole lot of bunch of kids who could keep the thing going, you know, for long periods of time in the year. And yes, it helped each other, definitely.
It meant that there were going to be aspirants on those positions on the dial pretty much all year round. So they didn't just have to worry about little bursts here and there that they could try and stop with big competitions or something.
I think some of the aspirants, I have great respect for what they're trying to do, because they're trying to do what Hitz was trying to do. They're trying to do the same thing, they have the same sort of goals, but I don't think all the aspirants are there for the right reasons.
All the fanfare aside, Hitz FM's primary objective has always been to provide young people with an opportunity to participate in a fully operational radio station from the ground up, including administration, sponsorship, music selection, on-air presentation, etc, etc. During its 8 years, over 1,000 volunteers have contributed to make the station what it is, many of whom have gone on to bigger and better things in professional TV, radio and the media.
I didn't know anything about radio. I guess that's one of the really good things about places like Hitz and other community aspirant stations, the fact that they train you and you get to really make all your mistakes.
We used to look forward to getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do the news unpaid, and now I absolutely hate getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get paid a hell of a lot more.
Daryl Summers rang me up for this job at Hey Hey. I'd known him through some work at the Herald Sun, but the reason he really got to know me was because I interviewed him on Hitz.
Having been involved with Hitz for so long, I think gave me so much radio experience that I would never have been able to get anywhere else.
It's amazing how successful so many of those people have been since they've left Hitz FM. I guess it gives you a taste of what you want to do and where you want to go.
So, the question is, what would Australian radio sound like if on that day in December 1992, Hitz FM had figured, well, it's just not worth it? We'll never know. But after so many years of test transmitting and being told by the Australian Broadcasting Authority that the licence will be awarded next year, what's the feeling going to be like if that full-time licence is awarded to Hitz?
I think that it'll be, for me personally, it'll be a very emotional time to reflect back on all the milestones that the station has achieved over the last 8, 9 or 10 years of its life.
It would just reward all the many thousands of hours and effort and initiative, creation and all the ideas that flowed from just a little group that started way back in 1992.
It would be sad that I'm not there, but a great thing, because I know there are a lot of people that have put so many years into the effort.
All those years that I put into Hitz FM have been a very important part of my life, and the whole driver behind Hitz when we went into it was, we can get this station going, we can get this thing off the ground, and we can actually succeed and get this station on air full time. That was the whole motivation, and to me, to actually see that fulfilled, that would mean so much.
It would just be a huge reward for just so much effort in the early days. I'd be the first to run down there and shake their hands and say, hey, you know, well done. Finally, we've achieved something for all this work.
It would seriously be an extraordinarily emotional moment for me, because I've observed, most of the time when it's on air I'm observing, and sometimes I'm on the air, but I've seen it come from where it was right through, and the highs and the lows and the desperation and the frustration and the commitment of so many people. If that actually happened, it would be one of the greatest moments of my life. Yeah, it really would.